You open your eyes and something feels wrong. The air around you is thin, the light is dim but scorching hot, and the ground beneath your feet doesn't look like the earth you remember. You glance up at the sky, and your breath catches. The sun isn't the familiar golden star you've always known. It's enormous, swollen, glowing blood red, filling nearly half the horizon. The world you've woken up in isn't Earth as you know it. It's Earth 5 billion years in the future. The first thing you notice is silence. There are no birds singing, no wind rustling through trees, no sound of cars or cities. The oceans are gone. The continents look alien, twisted and cracked like broken pottery. The once blue sky has a reddish haze, and the atmosphere feels hostile, suffocating. The Earth you knew is long gone, replaced by a dying planet orbiting a dying star. As you stumble forward, questions flood your mind. Has humanity survived this far? Are there any traces left of our civilizations? New York, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles? Or have they been erased by the relentless march of time? Could life, in some strange new form, still cling to this broken Earth? Or are you truly standing alone, billions of years ahead, on the last days of a world nearing its end? This is not just a time travel adventure. This is a glimpse into the fate of Earth, the Sun, and perhaps even humanity itself. So let's explore. What if you woke up 5 billion years in the future? The first shock. Earth in 5 billion years. The very first shock of waking up 5 billion years in the future would hit you the moment you look around. Earth, the home you thought you knew, would be almost unrecognizable. The planet's surface has endured changes so extreme that none of the features we associate with our world remain intact. The continents you once studied in school, North America, Europe, Asia, no longer exist in their familiar shapes. After billions of years of plate tectonics, they've smashed together, drifted apart, and reassembled countless times. What lies before you now is a strange alien supercontinent, a vast expanse of cracked rock stretching beneath a sky tinted red by the bloated sun. The oceans? They're gone. Long before this moment, the sun's increasing heat caused Earth's seas to evaporate, stripping away the blue jewel that once defined our planet. Imagine standing where the Pacific Ocean used to be and seeing nothing but endless desert, dust, salt flats, and dried seabeds. The comforting rhythm of waves and tides has been silenced forever. Without water, there are no rivers, no lakes, no life-giving rains. The air is dry, thin, and suffocating. And then there's the heat. At this stage, the sun has swelled into a red giant, blasting Earth with radiation and temperatures far beyond anything humans have ever experienced. Even in what used to be temperate zones like the U.S. Midwest, the surface temperature could easily exceed several hundred degrees Fahrenheit. Standing here without protection, your skin would blister instantly, your lungs would burn with every breath, and within minutes, survival would become impossible. The environment itself rejects you, like a body fighting off an intruder. If you searched for familiar landmarks, you'd find nothing. The Grand Canyon, once carved by the mighty Colorado River, is now filled with sand and buried beneath layers of shifting crust. The Statue of Liberty has long since melted or crumbled, eroded into dust. The New York skyline, Los Angeles freeways, Washington monuments, all erased by time, heat, and geological upheaval. Human civilization is a ghost, erased so thoroughly that not even ruins remain. What would truly overwhelm you, though, is the silence. Earth is no longer a world of life. There are no trees to provide shade, no animals roaming the land, no humans building cities or planting crops. Life as we know it disappeared long ago when rising temperatures boiled away the oceans and stripped the planet of its biosphere. You are standing in the ruins of a once living world, a desert wasteland orbiting a dying star. In this moment, it becomes clear. Waking up on Earth 5 billion years in the future is less like stepping forward in time and more like stepping onto a completely alien planet. Everything you knew is gone, replaced by an environment so extreme that survival is impossible for more than a few minutes. The first shock isn't just that the Earth has changed, it's the realization that Earth itself has died. The Sun's transformation, if Earth's surface looks like a barren wasteland, the reason is written across the sky. The Sun. In your time, the Sun was a stable, yellow star, quietly fueling life on Earth for billions of years. But 5 billion years into the future, that same star has become a monstrous red giant. It has expanded to nearly 100 times its original size, burning hotter and brighter and looming so large in the sky that it dominates the horizon. From where you stand, the Sun looks terrifyingly close, like a fiery giant reaching out to swallow the Earth whole. This transformation didn't happen overnight. For billions of years, the Sun's core steadily fused hydrogen into helium. But eventually, that fuel began to run out. To keep itself alive, the Sun turned unstable, its core collapsing and heating until helium fusion began. The result? A violent swelling pushing its outer layers far into the solar system. Mercury and Venus? Gone, swallowed by the Sun's fiery expansion. Earth now lies on the edge of survival, its orbit bathed in deadly radiation. The heat is unimaginable. Surface temperatures on Earth can soar into the thousands of degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt rock and vaporize metal. The once solid crust of Earth begins to soften and buckle. In places, molten rivers of lava snake across the surface where entire mountain ranges once stood. The Sun's energy drives violent storms, hurricanes of fire and wind that rage endlessly, reshaping what's left of the planet. And it's not just heat. The Sun, in its dying throes, unleashes massive solar winds, streams of charged particles blasting out at incredible speeds. These winds strip away what little remains of Earth's atmosphere, leaving the planet exposed and defenseless. Radiation floods the surface, searing anything unprotected. Standing here for even a second would be fatal. Your skin would blister and peel instantly, your internal organs fried by invisible waves of radiation. You wouldn't last long enough to take a second breath. From the ground, the sky would look surreal. Instead of a calm golden star, you'd see a roiling fiery orb, its surface rippling with sunspots and flares. Massive arcs of plasma leap off its surface, stretching thousands of miles into space before collapsing back down. Every sunrise and sunset is now an apocalyptic display. Brilliant red, orange, and white flames painting the entire sky. It's beautiful in the most horrifying way imaginable. For Earth, the Sun's expansion is a death sentence. In time, it may grow so large that it engulfs the planet entirely. But even if Earth escapes being swallowed, the radiation and heat will strip it bare, leaving behind nothing but a scorched rock circling a star in its final stages of life. When you look up at this colossal red sun, the truth hits you. The very thing that once gave life to Earth is now the force that ensures its death. To wake up here is to wake up at the end of Earth's story, where the sun itself has become both executioner and tombstone, life or something else. As you stand on this scorched alien Earth, a question nags at your mind. Is anything alive here? After all, Earth was once a cradle of life, bursting with oceans, forests, cities, and billions of living things. Could some form of existence have found a way to survive the inferno of a red giant sun? The hard truth is that all familiar life forms, plants, animals, and humans, are long gone. Long before the sun reached this stage, rising global temperatures boiled the oceans away, killing off marine life. Without water, the land ecosystems collapsed. Forests turned to deserts, animals starved, and eventually even microbes were baked out of existence. What you see now is the aftermath of extinction, a planet that once flourished but now sits silent. And yet, the universe is full of surprises. Scientists speculate that some extremophiles, tiny microbes that thrive in extreme heat or radiation, might have survived longer than anything else. Deep underground, sheltered from the worst of the sun's wrath, it's possible that pockets of microbial life clung to existence for millions, maybe even billions of years. But by the time you've woken up here, even those stubborn survivors are almost certainly gone. So what about something less biological? If humanity had enough time and foresight, maybe we left behind artificial descendants, machines powered by solar energy, designed to last for eons, could have wandered these landscapes long after we were gone. Imagine stumbling across a robotic sentinel, rusted and broken, lying half buried in the dust. It might have been built to carry on humanity's memory, but now it's just another relic, eroded by time. And if humanity truly advanced, maybe we didn't vanish at all, we just left. Billions of years is more than enough time for our species, or whatever we evolved into, to spread across the galaxy. Perhaps civilizations thrive around distant stars, or maybe even in other galaxies entirely. The Earth you're standing on may be a graveyard, but somewhere out there, the descendants of humanity could still exist, looking back at this ruined planet as a birthplace they've long since outgrown. What about physical traces of us? The idea of stumbling upon ruins, like the remains of New York, the White House, or the Golden Gate Bridge, feels compelling, but it's impossible. Over billions of years, erosion, plate tectonics, and the sun's fury would erase every trace of our cities. Concrete, steel, and glass wouldn't last a fraction of that time. Even Mount Rushmore, which people sometimes joke could outlast humanity, would be ground to dust under these conditions. From your vantage point, Earth's surface shows no evidence that a civilization ever existed here. So, if you're searching for company, you won't find it. No humans, no animals, no microbes, and no thriving machines. The Earth of 5 billion years in the future is silent, dead, and alone. The only life left is the memory of what once was, and perhaps the faint hope that somewhere, far beyond this dying world, humanity or its creations still live on. The wider universe in 5 billion years, leaving the scorched earth behind in your mind's eye, you look upward, not just at the swollen sun, but at the vast universe beyond. 5 billion years is an unimaginably long time, and while Earth has been devastated, the cosmos itself has also shifted in ways that would astonish you. Start with our closest neighbors, the planets. Mercury and Venus have already been consumed by the expanding sun. Mars, once a frozen desert world, now bakes under its glare, stripped of atmosphere and left just as lifeless as Earth. The gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, still orbit in the distance, but even they aren't untouched. Their outer layers are slowly being blasted by solar winds, and their moons, once potential havens for life, are scorched or swept into instability. Imagine Europa's icy crust melted away, Titan's methane seas boiled into space, and entire systems of moons torn apart by gravity and radiation. But if you zoom further out, you'll see that the solar system itself is drifting into an even grander event, the future of the Milky Way galaxy. Astronomers predict that about 4 to 5 billion years from now, the Milky Way will collide with the neighboring Andromeda galaxy. By the time you wake up in this distant era, the cosmic merger may already be underway. From Earth's surface, or what's left of it, the night sky would look completely transformed. Instead of the familiar band of the Milky Way, you'd see vast arcs of stars stretched across the heavens, colliding galaxies dancing in slow motion. Brilliant star clusters and glowing gas clouds dominate the sky, creating one of the most awe-inspiring yet chaotic sights in the universe. Surprisingly, a galactic collision doesn't mean stars smash into each other. Space is mostly empty. But the gravitational upheaval reshapes everything. Stars are flung into new orbits, new stars ignite from compressed gas clouds, and black holes at the centers of the galaxies grow even larger as they devour matter. The Milky Way and Andromeda, once separate spirals, are fusing into a giant elliptical galaxy that will shine across the cosmos. For Earth, though, this celestial spectacle offers no safety. The sun's red giant phase ensures its doom regardless of the galaxy's fate. But if you were lucky enough to somehow escape Earth's furnace, the view from a nearby planet or spacecraft would be breathtaking. Imagine standing on a safe world orbiting a different star, looking up at a night sky where entire galaxies stretch across the horizon, glowing brighter than the moon ever did. It's a vision that no human eyes have yet seen, but if we survive long enough as a species, maybe our descendants will witness it for real. This future universe is both terrifying and beautiful. On one hand, it's a graveyard of familiar worlds, destroyed by time and stellar death. On the other, it's a cradle of new beginnings. Fresh stars are being born, galaxies are merging, and the cosmos continues its endless cycle of creation and destruction. Waking up here means standing at the intersection of endings and beginnings, where the universe reminds you that nothing, planets, stars, or even galaxies, lasts forever. Humanity's legacy and final reflection, as the enormity of what you've witnessed sinks in, one thought becomes unavoidable. What happened to us? Earth is gone, the sun is dying, and the universe itself is almost unrecognizable. But humanity, or whatever we became, had billions of years to prepare. Surely we didn't simply vanish without a trace. If history teaches us anything, it's that survival often depends on adaptation. By the time Earth became uninhabitable, humanity would have faced countless challenges: climate change, asteroid impacts, wars, and technological risks. But assuming we overcame them, the sun's slow transformation gave us plenty of warning. Long before Earth boiled away, we may have spread across the stars. Colonies on Mars, robotic outposts on distant moons, and even interstellar voyages could have ensured our survival. Perhaps by now, humans, or our descendants, live light years away, on planets orbiting stars that are still young and stable. But what if we went further than survival? With billions of years to advance, humanity may have transcended biology altogether. Instead of flesh and blood beings, we might have evolved into digital minds, uploaded consciousness, or vast machine civilizations harnessing the power of entire stars. Imagine a galactic network of artificial intelligence, carrying forward human culture, memory, and creativity long after Earth itself has crumbled. To wake up here, on a lifeless planet, is to realize you might be standing in the shadow of a species that has become unrecognizable. And yet, even if humanity is thriving elsewhere, Earth's destruction carries a bittersweet truth. This planet was our birthplace. Every story, every civilization, every achievement began here. Now, it lies silent, erased by time. But that silence doesn't erase the meaning of what came before. For billions of years, Earth was the one place in a universe where life bloomed in staggering diversity, where intelligence first looked up at the stars and wondered what the future might hold. You are standing at the end of that story, a final chapter written in fire and silence. Looking around, you realize that Earth's fate is not unique. Every planet, every star, every galaxy will eventually reach its end. But endings are not failures. They're part of the universe's cycle. The same sun that now destroys Earth once gave it life. The galaxies colliding overhead may spell doom for some stars, but also trigger the birth of countless new ones. From destruction comes creation, and from endings come beginnings. As the heat intensifies and the red giant sun looms ever larger, one final reflection surfaces. Perhaps humanity's greatest legacy isn't survival, but imagination. The fact that we could even dream of the distant future, predict the sun's death, or imagine life among the stars is proof of something profound. Maybe, billions of years from now, that spark of curiosity still lives on, somewhere out there, in a distant corner of the galaxy. If you woke up 5 billion years in the future, you would be standing at both an ending and a beginning. Earth's story has closed, but the universe's story continues. And maybe, just maybe, so does ours.